and welcome back to the channel. Welcome back for another video. I hope that you're all doing good. If it is your first time to be my channel, please subscribe and turn on notification bell that will appear after subscribing the channel. And after doing that, you'll be the first one to get all the latest news about Orlando Pirates that we are providing each and every day. Orlando Pirates fans here, this is where all Orlando Pirates fans meet and talk about Orlando Pirates. So here we are discussing everything that is happening at Orlando Pirates and South African football in general. So for those of you, if you're new here, you may now join us by subscribing the channel. And remember to turn on notification, as I said earlier. That will appear after subscribing the channel so you never miss any new video whenever I upload to this channel. And Orlando Pirates supporters, today I have some news that I want to share with you in this video. So what you need to know right now, please stay here and watch the video until the end. And without wasting time, now let us dive into the story and talk about Orlando Pirates and this saga that involves the PSL class, especially this big three. I'm just talking about Kaizer Chiefs, Orlando Pirates, and Mamelodi Sundowns. And now, without wasting time, let's dive into the story and talk about this saga that involving these big three. I'm just talking about Orlando Pirates, Mamelodi Sundowns, and Kaizer Chiefs. As the new season begins now, PSL clubs are very busy to make sure that at the end of this new season, they are going to do the different thing that they have done on the previous season, especially for Orlando Pirates, who are defending the title after securing the 2025 and 2026 Beto Premiership title. Now they are defending the title, and it is a very, very difficult to defend it because most of PSL clubs now are very seriously to make sure that they are going to do the different thing than that they have done on the previous season. And also, the expectation at Orlando Pirates is very high because they are not the one who they are just looking to win the title in the first time. So I think the expectation and the pressure at Orlando Pirates is higher than other clubs like Kaizer Chiefs who are just looking to secure the title in their first time. So for Pirates, they must be very carefully to defend the title as they wish. But I have something that I want to share with you on what is going on now in this big three, and the question that raises questions about Mamelodi Sundowns' current situation and what Miguel Cardoso said. So Miguel Cardoso raises refereeing concerns as a yellow cards count sparks debate. Miguel Cardoso has raised the concerns about the number of yellow cards being picked up by his players, suggesting that his team may be receiving harsher treatment from referees than the opponents they are competing against. The coaches' comments have sparked the debate, particularly because the numbers of disciplinary sanctions accumulated by his side has already become a noticeable issue earlier in the season. According to Miguel Cardoso, his team has collected 15 yellow cards in just 5 matches, an average of 3 yellow cards per game. While yellow cards are a normal part of a competitive football, the coach believes the frequency at which his players are being booked could eventually have a serious consequences for the team. Speaking to the media, Cardoso did not hide his frustrations with the situations. We have already in 5 matches, 15 yellow cards, Cardoso told the media. The coach then explained why the number is becoming a concern for him and his technical team. The yellow cards will take players out in the front and we want our players to play as much as the players from the teams that we fight against. The rules are the same for everybody. Cardoso's comments come at a time when every available player can be crucial, particularly during a demanding season in which teams are expected to compete across multiple competitions. Cardoso worried about the players' availability. For any coach, suspensions can create significant selection problems. A yellow card on its own might not appear to be a major issue, but when players accumulate severe booking over a short period, the consequences can become much more serious. Key players can be forced to miss important matches once they reach the relevant suspicious threshold. For a coach trying to establish consistency, consistency and build momentum, losing regular starter because of disciplinary issues can disrupt the team's rhythm. This appears to be one of Cardoso's biggest concerns. The coach wants his best players available for as many matches as possible, particularly when facing opponents competing for the same objectives. His argument is not necessarily that players should never be booked. Rather, Cardoso appears to be questioning whether the same standard is being applied to both sides. The rules are the same for everybody. The most significant part of Cardoso's comments was his reminder that football's laws should be applied equal. The rules are the same for everybody, he said. That statement goes to the heart of the debate surrounding refereeing in a football. Every team expects the referees to make difficult decisions during matches. Tackles are happening at a high speed. Players make tactical fouls. Challenges can be mismade, and emotions can sometimes influence the intensity of a contest. However, coaches and supporters understandably become frustrated when they believe similar incidents are being treated differently. If a player from one team receives a yellow card from a particular type of a challenge, supporters naturally expect an opponent committing a similar offense to receive the same punishment. Consistency is therefore one of the most important aspects of refereeing. Cardoso's comments suggested that he wants to see that a consistent maintained through the season. Are the yellow cards justified? There is another side to the argument, however. A high number of yellow cards does not automatically prove that a team is being unfair targeted. Football is an intense sport, and certain teams naturally pick up more a booking depending on their tactical approach, a defensive structure, and the style of play. For example, a team that frequently issues a tactical fouls to stop counterattacks could accumulate more yellow cards than a team that defends deeper and allows opponents to progress. Similarly, aggressive pressing can sometimes result in late challenges when a player attempts to win possessions quickly. Therefore, the figure of 15 yellow cards needs to be considered alongside the incidents that produced those bookings. Where the players booked for dangerous challenges, where they stopping promising attacks, where they repeatedly committing fouls, or where some of the decisions questionable, those details would provide a greater context. Cardoso wants his team to compete on equal terms. From the coach's perspective, the issue is ultimately about fairness. Cardoso wants his player to be available for selections and believes they should be able to compete against their opponents under the same conditions. His frustration appears to stem from the possibility that suspensions could prevent some of his important players from participating in crucial matches. The yellow cards will take a players out in a front or a one day. That is an understandable concern for a coach. A team can spend an entire week preparing for a major fixture only to discover that one of its most influential players is available because of accumulated bookings. When several players are affected, the problems becomes even bigger. The coach may be forced to change his starting first 11 after alter his tactical plans or give opportunity to less experienced players. Drop a thought in the comment below. Tell me where are you watching from. So this is to talk where football fans meet and talk about South African football. And pleasure increases on referees. Cardoso's comments could also put additional attention on refereeing decisions involving his team. Once a coach publicly raises concerns about officiating, every subsequent booking is likely to receive a greater scrutiny from supporters and the media. That does not necessarily mean the coach is wrong to speak out. Managers have always used the press conference to highlight issues they believe are affecting their teams. Sometimes those complaints are designed to protect their players, while on other occasions they are intended to put pressure on officials to maintain consistency. However, Cardoso will know that simply pointing to the numbers of yellow cards is unlikely to settle the argument. If the club genuinely believes its players are being treated differently, specific examples will be needed. Individual incidents can be examined, compared, and discussed. That will provide a much stronger basis for determining whether there is a genuine and officiating problems or whether the team's disciplinary record is simply a consequence of its playing style. Welcome back, and I'll stay here to be updated.